What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your very first time joining me. My name is Jessica. I'm a mother as well as a makeup lover, of course. So for today's video, as you guys can clearly see by the title, I'm going to be playing around with Jaclyn Cosmetics' new Luxe Legacy collection, specifically the Dear Mom palette. I did pick up one other item from this collection. I will demo it for you guys, but mainly we're going to be focusing, of course, on the eyeshadow palette. So I did personally pick up the limited edition version of the eyeshadow palette. I honestly just thought that the packaging was just much prettier than the other packaging. Also, it has the iconic like J, the raised J, like how all of her other products have. Excuse me, which I really just thought was very aesthetically pleasing. Also, I think the rose on the front of it is very beautiful. So I did. Of course, I swatched the whole palette for you guys. I do have to say, I think the silver is like my favorite shimmer out of all of them, besides like the greens. I do like the green tones, but I just feel like the shimmers were a little bit lackluster, just based off the swatches, minus the silver. I think the silver was the most like awe-inspiring shade out of all of them. But I will be creating this eye look with you guys and also demoing one more product from her collection. From this collection, we'll be demoing one more product from the collection. So if you're curious to see my thoughts and opinions, and of course how I achieved this makeup look, then please do keep on watching. So for sure I wanted to use the black and the green, so I think I'm actually going to start by taking the black, which is called Because I Said So. Facts. Okay, so I'm going to take this Jessup 234 Luxe Smoky Shader brush. So it's a nice packing brush, but also it's fluffy enough to blend. So there is some kick up in the pan, but I'm kind of trying to pick up a lot of pigment, so I do not mind that. I'm just going to go right in this outer corner. I'm just going to go for like kind of like a triangle shape. Like so. I'm not getting like any fallout either, so even though it's like kickabee, there's no fallout. So next I'm going to take the green shade called Moo, which to be honest is one of the main reasons why I actually bought this palette, because I think just the colors with the greens in it is just so like nice and like aesthetically pleasing. So I'm going to take this. This is a Luna Magic brush. It's just like a small packing brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press the shade down first, just like right where I'm going to, like right above where I'm going to cut my crease. So I'm really going to pack the shade down like that. Get all that pigment. And then just on the same brush, no additional product, I'm going to buff this out. There's not really like a green to blend this out with, and I didn't want to go in with like another palette, so I'm just gonna use like, I'm just gonna diffuse it for like the blend, if that makes sense. So you see how it's like softening? Okay, so now the front half of my blend is done. I'm going to go back to this black. I'm going to go back to the black. I'm going to take this Makeup Shack T9 brush, so it's really nice and fluffy. And I think I'm going to take the shade right next to the black, which is called Buddy. I feel like these two shades look very similar. Maybe this one's like darker, maybe a different tone. But definitely I'm going to take this shade today. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go right over the edges in little circle motions. I want to kind of keep this like black gray toned. So now I'm going to take a really fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M441 brush, and I think I'm going to take the shade So Ucky. As you can see, I dug my nail into a couple of these shades. I almost dropped it, and I'd rather have nail dings than a broken palette. So I'm just going to go right over the edges of that. This is like a very small section I need to blend, so it's going to be pretty easy, I think. And then I'll go through my other two colors. I think the black is the star of the show in this blend right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out my crease, and I'm going to lay down my P. Louise blank canvas. Yeah. So cut out the crease, blank canvas. It is a Sunday, my family's home, and my kid keeps leaving my door open. So if you can hear my husband's game upstairs, we're just gonna ignore that. Okay. So I, cut the crease, lay the blank canvas down, and then I tap the edges out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take some more of the black, and I'm gonna do this in like a half wing shape. Soften this edge a little bit. Just like that. And then I'll take the shade Moo, which is the green. Oh, got a hair on my lip. Gross. Okay. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm gonna have to use this green with like the brown and see how that looks, because I think that'd be so cute too. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the shade Meat and Potatoes, which is actually a shimmery shade. Well, it's supposed to be a shimmery shade. And I'm just gonna pack this at the top of my crease. So not quite meeting the green, but just kind of setting this blank canvas down. So just like that, I'm gonna dust that brush off. And then I'm gonna take the green shade called Tootsie, which is also supposed to be like a shiny shade, but it's not very shiny. And I'm gonna pack that on top of the green, and then meeting up to that shade Meat and Potatoes. Shade does look like some mashed potatoes. Interesting. Let me go ahead and do this eye, and then I want to use this silver as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my Duo Lash Glue, and I'm going to draw a line up across this, and then I'm going to take that silver and set it down. So I did also pick up one more thing from the Jaclyn X Robin collaboration, and that was the sheer powder. So this is supposed to be a loose setting powder. So I went ahead and I did my foundation, concealer, cream contour, and blush, and so now I'm ready to set. If you're curious about any of the products that I used, I'll leave it down in the description box. So just peel off the stopper. Tap those in. I'm going to take one of these little poofs because that's how I love to set my makeup. And then I'm just going to go right in. So what I always like to do when I set my face is I'll just put it on the lid, and then I'll tap it in my hand to evenly distribute it around the puff. And then I just press it in. Everything looks set. Nothing too crazy. I did go in with matte products because some of the reviews that I was watching was saying that this powder kind of had a little bit of luminosity to it. Oh yeah, I guess I do see that. Not bad. We'll see how it looks when all my makeup is done. Okay, so I just went ahead and I finished the rest of my makeup. blush, highlight, and setting spray. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so I feel like this is very green heavy, so I'm just going to take the black. I'm going to smudge that under my eye. Dust that brush off, and then I'll take the shade Buddy. Just smoke that out. So I'm just going to take this shade Biscuit. And then I take my white pencil. Here is the completed look. My first time trying Jaclyn Cosmetics new eyeshadow palette formula. So I wanted to give you guys my kind of final thoughts and opinions on both of the products that I did purchase from them. I did want to get the setting spray, but I already spent a lot of money just on the palette and the powder, so I couldn't really afford everything, you know what I mean? So I just got the stuff that I was most excited for, most likely to use. I'll start with the setting powder. Now that my skin has kind of set in and everything, I do think that it looks very pretty. It looks very like lit from within. I mean, like under my eyes looks really smooth. Get up close. But I mean, it looks good. It does look good. Now for the Dear Mom eyeshadow palette. So there's a few reasons why I decided to go for this one, because I will not be gifting this to my mother. So I feel like the other packaging was just a little bit boring, and so this has like the iconic like, you know, J on it that all the rest of her products have. So I wish if her other palette would have had that, then maybe I would have got the other palette instead of this one. But like I feel like this really kind of brings the brand full circle. Like everything kind of has this like logo on it. But also I just really love the rose. I think it's so pretty. Like packaging is a 10 out of 10 for me. So now as far as the eyeshadow formula goes, I had zero problems blending any of the shadows out. I think they all blended really nice together, and it definitely, you could get really deep with this palette, which from first glance I felt like it was very bright, but now that I actually have it in my hands and I'm playing with it, you can actually get quite a lot of depth out of this. And I thought that this was going to be a matte, so I thought there were like 3 mattes, but this is actually a shimmer. Then we have like a yellow tone and like a pink tone matte, and then the rest of them, like you get cool tones, you get warm tones. My only thing that I guess I could say, so I know that this palette isn't 100% geared towards like my generation. It's more for like mature, you know, people like moms, though I am a mom. I'm only 25 years old. I think it's for like older moms, you know what I mean? So like as far as like the shimmers go, the only one that I feel like was super like awe-inspiring was the silver. The rest of the shimmers were kind of a little bit lackluster to me, but I feel like I love super sparkly, glittery, shiny things, so I don't hold that against the palette. It is still very beautiful, and I was still able to create a very beautiful look with it that I would definitely wear. So I'm definitely happy with the palette and the formula. Just I wish that the shimmers were more shimmery, you know what I mean? But I honestly, I don't have any complaints. I think this eyeshadow palette is really nice, and the formula is super nice. And if Jaclyn keeps with this same formula, I will 100% purchase her next eyeshadow palettes. Hopefully she comes out with more, and they're more like, you know, nudes are fun. Nudes are great for every day, but I feel like a lot of people, especially in this day and age, we're vibrant. Like we are bold. Like we love the color and the shine. Like that's just my personal opinion, I guess. I can't speak for everybody, but I mean, I will definitely get a lot of use out of this palette because it is so beautiful, and the colors are my type of neutrals, you know what I mean? Like those are the neutrals I tend to gravitate towards. So yeah, so I'm really happy with it and I enjoy it. That is my thoughts and opinion on Jaclyn Cosmetics' new Luxe Legacy collection. Of course, I didn't get everything, but those are my opinions on the eyeshadow palette and the setting powder as far as my humble opinion goes, you know what I mean? But I really do hope that you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like me, and if you like my content. And without further ado, we're going to go right on ahead, roll the clip.